Have you ever noticed you always hear people talking about the importance of getting 8 hours of sleep?
I get 8 hours of sleep.
8 hours.
8 hours.
8.2 hours.
8 hours.
8 hours.
8 hours of sleep.
But is that actually true?
Is it true?
Let's uncover the truth behind the 8-hour sleep myth. We've all heard it time and time again, the same thing over and over.
You have to get 8 hours of sleep or else.
You know what? Where did this 8 hours of sleep thing even come from? Well, here's a fact for you I bet you don't know. It actually originated back in the 1800s thanks to a man named Robert Owen. Robert Owen was a man of vision. He grew up during some tough times. He grew up in poverty. He just didn't have the right cards dealt to him when he was young. And eventually he wanted to create something better for the working people of his time. In 1810, he raised the demand for an 8-hour workday and set about issuing this policy at New Lanark, which was a cotton mill town in Scotland that he ran. If you're getting value out of this video so far, make sure you hit that like button. Robert Owen was taking on a daunting task at the time. He knew that the factory owners would be resistant to change, but he persisted and he really fought for this cause. Factory owners wanted nothing but their workers to work long hours so they can make more money. But Robert was determined to bring this reform. He wanted this to change. And convincing the factory owners that shorter working hours would lead to higher productivity and morale amongst their employees, which ultimately meant more profit for them too. Robert Owen was well ahead of his time. He figured out that in order for productivity to increase, workers needed to be well rested. Therefore, they could work more efficiently while they're at work. By 1817, Robert had formulated his goal, an 8-hour workday with the slogan 8 hours labor, 8 hours recreation, 8 hours rest. Robert had to deal with a lot of opposition, but his efforts paid off. Eventually, New Lanark adopted this policy in 1819. His inspiring story went on to spread across Europe and America, where other workers started demanding the same reform. This is the early roots of where 8 hours of sleep came from. Now, eventually, over time, from the early 1800s leading up till today, of course, there's been research done, scientists have dabbled in the general safe ballpark area that you want to aim for is 7 to 9 hours. 8 hours of sleep falls in between that, and that whole concept is just kind of stuck up to today. However, is that true?
Is it true?
Here's the thing about the human body. It's incredibly resilient. It is absolutely amazing, and it can adapt to different situations. For someone to say that you need to always sleep 8 hours a night is actually counterproductive, and it does a disservice to your body. I say this because the truth is, change can be just what your body needs. It's the disruption to our normal routine that can help stimulate our brain and body, which allows it to get better at adjusting and adapting to different situations. It's these moments of change that help us realize that it's not just about the quantity of sleep or the amount of hours of sleep that you go for, but the quality of the sleep matters most. The need for sleep is unique to each individual. Genetics, age, medical conditions, environmental and behavioral factors, they all play a part in determining how much sleep you require. There is no one size fits all approach when it comes to sleep. Sleep is truly unique to you. The amount of hours of sleep that I require differs than the amount of hours you require, and that changes based on what is going on in your life. You don't have to conform to someone else's rules when it comes to sleep, and while it's important to prioritize getting enough sleep each night in terms of hours, it's more important to figure out what works best for you. So the next time you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night to calm your crying baby or being dragged out of your bed by your dog at the crack of dawn, simply embrace it. Allow yourself to adjust and adapt, because sometimes it's the change that you fear most that can actually lead to you getting a better night of sleep. If you're looking to level up your sleep, then you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't hit that subscribe button.